Hello and welcome to Out of Our Box. I'm Ricky and I'm here with my co-host and very good friend Aaron. How are you?
Yeah, I'm all good, thanks, man. You?
Very good. Cool episode today. We are tackling the subject of the fires in Los Angeles. We'll explore how these fires started and the reasons for their persistence. The combination of dry conditions, Santa Ana winds, and the abundance of dry vegetation creates a perfect storm for the fires to ignite. Many of these fires are sparked by natural causes like lightning strikes, human activities such as campfires and electrical malfunctions. They all also play a significant role. Yeah, so that's some ways they may have started, but I think we're going to get into some other stuff that suggests that it might be a bit more. Um,
It could be a bit more behind the scenes.
there could be. There's lots of theories about this, and we've got quite a few of them,
Yeah,
which is very cool. But before we get into that, we're just a bit about the fires. And LA is synonymous with having these fires, aren't they?
yeah.
They've
I
got a
mean,
history.
it happens a lot, doesn't it?
It
It's
seems
in,
to.
or it seems to happen a lot more in recent memory. I would probably say the last 5 years. I've noticed it more in the news. I
True.
don't know if they've gotten bigger than they used to be, or these recent four fires have obviously been the biggest they've ever had. But it seems like I'm pretty sure in the news for the last sort of 5 years, you would hear of these like big wildfires happening.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I don't know whether it's the case of more people having access to information. Maybe they've been
Yeah.
going on for a while. It might be, but no. But we've had the access to that information like en masse for quite a few years now, haven't we? More than five.
Yeah, yeah. Well, the 24-hour news cycle has probably been at the forefront of modern society since I'll probably say before 9/11.
Yeah, definitely. The fires that began in the north of downtown LA and have burnt more than 12,000 homes, cars, and other structures. Just under 100,000 in Los Angeles County remains under evacuation orders.
Crazy.
Which is crazy. Yeah, 100,000 people displaced.
Yeah. It's like, where do you go? Where do you put these people?
Yeah, to be fair, not too sure where they're putting them.
I'm assuming they're all going to like gyms and halls and like stadiums and
Yeah, shelters.
kind of like what
Um,
happened with Hurricane Katrina. They like filled up the Superdome, didn't they? And then
yeah. So far, 27 people have been killed, but Los Angeles County Sheriff Robert Luna said that the death toll was likely to rise as at least 2 dozen are missing.
yeah, I mean, it's going to take a while to find out the true amount of people you'd think, especially with fire as well. It doesn't really leave a lot of evidence, does it?
It doesn't. And if you think if 100,000 people have been displaced from their homes, the death toll must be higher than 20
Yeah,
something people.
27.
Yeah.
And then just 12 people not being accounted for seems quite
You
low.
know, that seems very low as well. Yeah.
But then obviously LA has quite a lot of illegal immigration as well, doesn't it? So then a lot of these people, there could be potentially hundreds or thousands of undocumented people that no one's looking for.
True. That is very true. Yeah. And yeah, come over and then just get fried.
Yeah,
Not
looking for a
good.
better life and then ended up in fucking an
Hell.
inferno. Yeah,
But yeah, early estimates suggest the fires could be the nation's costliest ever,
yeah.
topping 250 billion.
Yeah, I saw early estimates from a week ago. They were saying 135 to 150 billion, and then that was like 7 days ago.
Yes.
They're still going now.
Yeah, man. Yeah, including what is to come in the next few days as well.
Yeah,
Well, I don't know how they know it's a few days, but what's to
yeah.
come in the next days. If it stops in a couple of days, we know that. We know what's going. Something. Well, I think something fishy is going on anyway. We shall, as I said,
Yeah.
we shall get into that. But the reconstruction could cost commercial and residential properties inside areas with active fires, and the cost could be 14.8 billion.
Jesus.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. But before we get into the theories, let's talk about the fires and where they're located. There are four main fires that started in separate places. So far, it's estimated that all four fires have burnt an area of 42,000 acres,
Mm.
which is a bit crazy. It's a
Yeah,
big
that's a
area.
huge area.
Yeah, 42,000 acres. Four separate locations. First location was the Palisades. It's called in
Yeah.
the Palisades fire. The largest active fire is burning between Santa Monica and Malibu. The Eaton fire,
Yeah.
that's the second largest fire, burning north of Pasadena. Then we have the Hearst fire to the northeast of the city. It's 97% contained, according to officials now.
Well,
And the Auto fire to the west of the city in the country of Ventura.
yeah.
It is a bit strange that four huge fires all started around the same time.
Yeah, well, I was reading a BBC article on how they that their initial findings on how they think they started, and LA County Chief Marone believes it's arson, as all four fires were reported almost instantly, and their location are not exactly close to each other.
No. Yeah, that's what
He's
I mean. It's strange.
and then he said, although his agency is not directly investigating the starting of it, over half the bushfires the agency ever attends are deliberately started. So your odds are pretty strong that someone's at least started one or two of them.
Yeah, and I suppose if you look at it and statistically and try and bring it all together, it's one fire, someone starts, gets out of hand,
Yeah,
two fires, separate locations, exactly the same time. That
yeah.
that that
Seems
redu
very unlikely.
Yeah, that reduces the odds rate. But four fires starting
Yeah.
at the same time, and all of them got out of
And
hand.
and they all sort of enshroud the city in a
Yeah,
way that it's coming from all angles, right? It's not like it was just like one half of like all on the east side. It's sort of all surrounding LA.
yeah. And I did see, but going off the topic a bit, whether it's true or not, I don't know. But look up if your own fact checking. When when was it? I can't remember how many years ago it was, but Australia had their own wildfires
Yeah.
over there, and allegedly the area of the wildfires straight after it, exactly the same route the fires took. They built a train service.
Oh, that's weird,
Yeah.
isn't
Hmm.
it?
So it was exactly the same. Yeah,
Yeah.
direct route. So yes, very strange.
Ideal, really. That.
It was just a bit of luck. Um,
Yeah.
but as for that, anyway, the train service and the bit of luck and the strangeness of that, we shall get into some theories. And the first theory, which is took my attention to be honest, but there's quite a bit on it, and I think out of all the theories of why they're happening, and the first one out of all the theories that I've seen, this seems like the most, not the most plausible, but it's the main one out there. I think I've seen more on it, and it gets my attention. This one, it is the theory of the 15-minute cities.
Hmm.
It is 15-minute cities and the wildfires. It's a theory that is red hot on X, and it is that the wildfires were set intentionally by the US to implement these so-called 15-minute cities, which are a concept. of an urban planning area where daily necessities and services such as workshopping and healthcare are within 15-minute walk, bike ride, or transit trips. And it's become a reoccurring theme with people in recent years. It's not only the 15-minute cities that will go on. They want it built by 2028, and it just so happens that 2028 the Olympics is in LA.
Yeah.
and, and obviously the city at the moment. Oh, and another thing, they're building three stadiums for the Olympics, and it just turns out that where the fires have burnt, three out of the four are all the places that were in place for these stadiums
Yeah.
to be built.
Well, that's something we kind of have a bit of a crossover with because do you remember when they were planning the Spurs stadium? There was some old warehouse in that
Yes, I
was
do.
holding up the planning, and then all of a sudden that caught fire.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think there was some warehouses and there was one or two. It might have even been a singular one that were refusing to sell and they were
Yeah,
refusing to move, and all of a sudden
and
there was
then
a big
one
fire.
night, yeah, one night there was a huge fire,
I do remember that.
and then
Yes.
this coincidentally happens quite a lot.
Suspect.
Yeah,
But in November, a meeting took place at the Los Angeles City Council, and they voted unanimously to adopt a motion to help implant a livable communities initiative, LCI, a proposal which was outlined in Program 131 in LA's recent certified housing element. The concept details in a late November news release aims to solve LA's housing, traffic, safety, and climate woes by enabling the development of new mixed use buildings on key commercial corridors, placing new housing near centres and transit lines. As a result of the council vote, the staff from the Department of City Planning, Building and Safety, the transportation were asked to report back within 180 days on strategies to establish this LCI.
Mm.
So the staff have been instructed to consider by right or administrative development and zoning standards to promote mid-scale development, meaning buildings between 3 or 5 stories high. The potential strategies included, this is the conclusions they come to,
yeah,
um, exclusion and or mitigation for lots located within a very high fire hazard severity zone, an identified historical district, or are designated as open spaces. Um, Whatever you take from that, and the exclusion for projects that may result in the demolition of buildings subject to the rent stabilisation ordinance or the loss of convented affordable units. A bit of jargon.
yeah.
I
That
understand.
sounds like politicians speak, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. But if you take the keywords and the key points of it, they want to build housing, they want to build developments, and they want to build, but they had to exclude locations with a very high hazardous severity to fire.
Yeah.
So if you look at it now, how we see it, it's that's got to be. You saying what was it? Was it 46,000 acres?
Yeah, 42,000
Oh,
acres.
42,000 acres. So that's a lot of
That's a lot
land.
of clear land
Yeah,
now.
it's a lot of clear land now. They have made for these. Not that they have made. That's
Yeah,
subject. That's. I'm not saying they have done this.
it's a theory that people have.
To theory people have, and when I think of conspiracy theories, I don't know. I don't think this one is too far fetched. If I'm being honest.
No, and then there was a thing with a lot of the big insurance companies in LA removed their um fire insurance from thousands of properties just before this happened.
just before
And
it
then
happened.
and then the way that insurance companies work with things like this, they're constantly running on probability and risk. So in their mind, there was a high probability of something like this happening, which meant that were going to remove all of their fire insurance because it would cost them money. So it was clearly on the minds of some people that something like potentially like this could be happening within the next few years for them to remove all of that.
Definitely, it is. It's very strange. Things like that. I think lots of circumstances that all come together all at once, and they all add
Mm.
up, and then something like this happens. You have to not point fingers, but you have to you have to start thinking about it. It's like taking a was it $1 trillion insurance on
Yeah,
the
on the
Twin
World Trade
Towers.
Center. Yeah,
Yeah, it's like a couple of months before, and it was all to do with planes and stuff. It's,
yeah, typical.
yeah, very odd. But
Yeah,
yeah, and as well, it's not only the councils and it's the governor, Gavin Newsom, and
yeah.
his interviews during the fires. It's very odd to me. He looks like a man who's on a mission, not on a mission. What's the word? He doesn't seem too phased about the fires. It's like I don't know.
No,
Yeah, he's
I
very
think
happy.
he actually said that at one point, and he was like, "Are you worried?" And then he was sort of like, "No." And
Yeah,
so the whole fucking city's on fire.
yeah, man. You should be worried as a government, man.
Yeah,
Because it's a pretty big thing,
yeah,
unless it's orchestrated. But yeah,
yeah,
you got to think there's four fires started in four different areas.
yeah,
They had a sort of plan or investigation prior to it to see how housing could be built and the elements of housing can be built, and they come back with can't be built on land that is ready for a fire.
yeah.
And then you got I know it's not in this bits that we've read out, but you got the Olympics being in there in 2028.
28.
The three stadiums that they proposed were going to be built, and all of a sudden, all that land is now
Yeah,
clear.
clear and not probably not very likely to set on fire again.
Yeah, yeah, probably. But yeah, I like that theory. I'm sure there's lots more to it, and if any of the
Yeah, of
listeners
course.
can obviously add to it, it should be good.
That particular area of the Palisades as well, Malibu, is like that's like one of the most expensive areas in the city.
Mm.
So the price of land there must be an absolute premium.
Yeah,
And
you'd
then
thought so.
if someone did need to procure any of that land, if they were going to need to buy it, it
Yeah,
would probably cost them quite a lot. So
might be a bit cheaper
removing the
now.
need, yeah, removing the
Yeah,
need to get people to move out of the way is probably quite helpful.
yeah, mate. Very good. And let's go on to a bit of a more out there theory, a bit of a wackier theory, but nevertheless funny. And that's what we want to do on the show. Bring all the theories, bring all the fun theories. And the next theory is the Sean Diddy Coombs theory.
I have seen this myself.
Great. On TikTok, the wildfire has been linked to famous American rapper Sean Diddy Combs, who was arrested last September for sex trafficking and racketeering. Following his arrest, many internet users spread wild theories that famous Hollywood actors, producers, and stars were all involved. Now, as the fires grow, a theory has emerged that the blaze was started and will continue in order to destroy evidence in the Coombs case. Several TikTok creators have said the fires were started to purposefully destroy the Diddy tunnels, while others argue that the fact that so many celebrity homes were damaged or outright destroyed proves Hollywood is trying to protect their biggest stars. Now, what do you
I
think about that
mean,
one?
that's definitely out there. That's a hell of a lot of damage to cause just to get hide some evidence from one guy, isn't it?
So I'm assuming Sean Diddy Coons, he's his friends are rappers. I mean, he's a
Yeah,
rapper himself. So what
yeah,
are they?
or was.
Oh, yeah, it was. Judging by this, he was a lot of things.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so if his friends started it, some Hollywood actors, is there, I don't know, rappers out somewhere in the LA Hills starting fires.
yeah. I think that's given a lot of credit to some people who are probably not the smartest.
Yeah.
You just imagine like one of P. Diddy's mates just like, oh yeah, we'll do this. We'll set fire here and it will just get rid of all of the evidence and then now it's all just gone wrong.
Yeah, and make the fires go in such a direction of the houses that and,
Yeah,
and the facilities that contained all the, I don't know what you call it,
yeah.
evidence
On
um
his case has
on the
magically
case.
disappeared.
Yeah, it's all burnt to the ground. How many were
I mean,
involved?
I'm sure he's hoping it did.
Yeah, I bet he is. Well, if he's released next week,
Yeah, we'll soon.
to be fair, he's still alive, so
Yeah,
that surprised me a lot.
yeah. Maybe the staircase isn't as strong as they think.
No, yeah, maybe they just haven't put him in with the right people, or
Yeah,
the right people haven't got to him yet. Well, I'd say the
he's
right
still.
people have got to him. If they want to get to him, they will.
Yeah, he's still in the cells where the cameras work.
Yeah, yeah. When they stop working,
Yeah, that's when it's trouble.
that's when it's game over. You get the Epstein. Oh, right. Another theory is the Delta smelt fish.
Yeah.
Whether it's a theory or just a reason why there was lack of water and stuff there, but the reason is the Delta smelt is a small fish. It's a slandered bodied one, native to California's San Francisco estuary. Listed as endangered under state and federal laws, it was considered an indicator species for the health of the estuary ecosystem. The species has faced dramatic population declines due to the habitat changes, reduced freshwater outflows, and other environmental pressures. Efforts to protect the delta smelt involved limiting water diversion from the Sacramento Jugin Delta using changes to dam releases to ensure significant flows for its survival. These protections that have sparked years of litigation and political battles over water allocation in California. Yeah, I don't think that's a reason for the fire starting, but it's a reason for the lack of water.
Yeah, the apparent lack of water. LA is notoriously dry, and
Hmm.
they often have problems with their estuaries being completely dried up, and then they have to pump water in from out of the state. So if this lead could if they were saving water to try and help this fish, I mean that would be plausible. There was another thing that I see with a lack of water. People were claiming Stuart and Linda Resnick, who own a company called the Wonderful Company. They basically the Wonderful Company are a huge agricultural company, and then they've got a water bank store of 1.5 million acre feet of water, which is basically held underground. And then just for the case of the water shortages, so it's there for them to be able to water all the crops for the business to make money. And there was a rumor that they were withholding this from this county and the state to stop them fighting the fires. But
Oh,
from what
really?
I read, it's like they're saying that it's not, and then the actual water bank's 100 miles north of LA, so it wouldn't have been able to be used anyway. But surely they, if this water's sitting there, you'd probably be like, oh, we can donate some to help.
Yeah, you'd think so. Yeah, you got to be a bit of an arsehole not
Yeah,
to. It's mine.
yeah.
Yeah.
I got water my almond plants
Yeah.
because
Yes.
apparently that's one of California's the biggest producers of almonds, and almonds take an obscene amount of water per tree to grow.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Well,
that's one of the reasons.
is the Ormond's native to there?
I'm not sure,
This
but
is because it would seem like historically like they have. well, I'd say historically, I don't know how far you want to go back, but yeah, it's not, as I said, it's quite a dry place, isn't it? Like before,
Yeah,
were the almonds there before humans, just sucking up all the water? Is that
yeah,
what?
that's why it's so
Is that
dry.
why it's dry? Just because
Yeah,
damn almonds,
yeah,
so the vegans can drink their milk.
yeah. Fucking bastard.
Yeah, man. The actor Mel Gibson asked whether supposed fire starters were commissioned to ignite blazes,
Mm.
which he said started under convenient circumstances. Which you've got to say,
Yeah, there are from the stuff that we've heard today, there's a lot of reasons why some fires would be beneficial to certain parts of
yeah.
government.
And they did start very conveniently in four different locations.
Yeah,
Yeah. He also said, I can make all the kinds of horrible theories up in my head, conspiracy theories and everything else. That's what he told Fox News. But it just seemed a little convenient that there was no water and that the wind conditions were right and that there were people ready and willing to be able to start fires. And are they commissioned to do so? Or are they just acting on their own volition? I don't know.
yeah.
Um, the origin of the fires are being investigated, but a total of 10 people have been charged.
Wow.
Los Angeles County District Attorney Nathan Hochman said in a press conference last Monday, one of these people, Jose Gerardo Escobar, was charged with arson and attempted arson, but they say this was not related to the wildfires.
I know I did see a video of someone sort of they were like in a neighborhood, I think, and then these people were filming this guy like setting fire to bins, and then a bunch of people just go and grab him, and then like, what are you doing? And this is after they'd already started, but then you don't know if anyone like that's had anything to do with them starting originally.
Yeah.
I
Uh,
know one thing that I read was like the Palisades fire. There was some hikers in Temescal Canyon, a guy called Kai Cranmore, and they said that while they were there they could smell smoke, and then they're being investigated, and they think that they could potentially be either the ones that started it or know someone who did.
hmm Yeah, but to be fair, if it's just me, but if there's wild or fires started and you've got 10 people that they have arrested, fucking running around the city of LA starting fires because they've been arrested for arson. That's or
Mm.
attempted arson. I don't know. How you can, well, I suppose you can attempt to start a fire, but
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, but if you're there lighting something to start a fire, it's arson.
They ain't watched enough Bear Grylls to know how to get it going.
Yeah. And especially when the fires are going on, and then they've arrested someone, but said it wasn't the arson wasn't related to the wildfires or to the fires. It's like, yeah, right, they might be not related to them fires, but
Yeah, but
yeah,
how do you know?
yeah, yeah, exactly. How do you know? But yeah, no, it's strange. And but 10 people being arrested and charged for starting fires, or attempting to start fires around LA while the fires are going on. It's just fucking weird,
Yeah.
man.
Well, there's got to be something to that. That's like, you know that so much damage and devastation is going on. It's like, why are you starting other fires?
That's it. Yeah. So what they're saying that because there's no relation to it, they're saying that the four fires started miraculously. So they
Yeah.
started like so they're wildfires, and then all of
Yeah.
a sudden,
Lightning strike or whatever.
lots of people decided, right, oh, them fires are going on. I'm just gonna
Yeah.
go around and
I'm
burn
just gonna
shit.
light more.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a bit weird, isn't it?
Yeah, man. I think that's weird, and I think Mel Gibson, whether you like him or not, I think he's got a fucking point. Well, he
Yeah.
says it's very convenient, and were these people doing it? Were they commissioned, or were they doing it over their own volition? That's what
Yeah.
he said, which is an honest answer, I think.
Yeah. Well, you just think, why would someone just do it for a laugh.
Yeah,
Like it
I
just
know there's some fucked up people out there,
yeah,
but
like people do crazy things, but it doesn't seem like you would just it's one of those things that you would just do just because you can.
just because you can go to the bar, go to the pub, mate. Be hard. Well,
Yeah,
it's probably burnt down by her, but go to
yeah.
go
Go to another
somewhere.
one.
Yeah, go to another one. Find one that ain't burning. And yeah, another thing I think we should touch upon in this episode is why the fire hydrants have run dry.
Hmm.
Because I found that quite strange as well. Los Angeles receives its water supply from 114 tanks in total, of which were fully filled before the fires. However, three water tanks in the elevated palisades were unable to be refilled due to high demand.
Hmm.
Yeah, which is I don't know if it's strange or not. Because to be honest, I can say it's strange, but I have no idea of the workings of
Yeah.
water tanks through any city, but especially the fucking city of LA. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sit here and pretend that I know the ins
Yeah.
and outs of the water tanks of LA.
No, yeah, I do know that it is notoriously a city known for drought. And
Yep.
then I don't know if it's been a particularly hot summer, but it's always fucking baking every time I've been there. And, and it never seems to get cold. So, and then it could just be a perfect storm, obviously, with the amount of fires
Could be.
and the same with the winds. Like the high strength of the winds apparently was one of the biggest causes of it spreading,
Yeah, the
and it's almost
Santa
like a
Ana.
one, yeah, it's almost like a once in a lifetime mixture of the perfect conditions for
Hmm.
maximum destruction.
Can they create winds?
Yeah.
Yeah, the fire started in the well, one started in the Pacific Palisades neighborhood at 10:30 a.m. On Tuesday, according to the California Fire Department. Two of the 1 million gallon tanks locally at an elevation in the Palisades ran dry late Tuesday. So from the 10:30 a.m. when they started using it, when the fire started, later that day, the 1 million gallon tank had already run dry.
That's crazy.
It's a lot of water.
Yeah.
Um, and on Wednesday, the day after, the third tank had also run out. Water reserves were located at a lower elevation, which made it difficult to refill the high elevation tanks. Yeah, so you talked about so you got two 1 million gallon tanks. They run out, so there's three altogether, and yeah, the third also ran out on the Wednesday. So 3 million gallons
Yeah.
of
In a
water
few days.
in a few days. It's a lot, man.
Yeah.
Well, it seems a
Insane.
lot. Well, uh, yeah, it's a lot. Even though I don't know. Oh, it would be interesting to see what other cities and like high drought cities around, even around the world in America, have
Mm.
how their water tanks and how their water reserves
Yeah, they match up to
match
that.
up to that. Because, I mean, if we're talking about what in our head we think of 3 million gallons of water, that's bloody lot. But if you go to other ones and they've got I don't know 10 million gallons
Yeah.
ready to go, there would it's a lot. Yeah, I don't know what it's compared to, so I'll have to have a look into that.
And then for a city that's on the coast as well, it's like that's one thing I didn't actually look into. It's like I would assume that when they're dropping water from planes, that are they using seawater? Because there's loads of it.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, and didn't ever don't they take water from not a lake? What do they call it? Um,
Reservoir.
reservoir. That's it.
Yeah,
Yeah, don't they? I'm sure they take.
I think
Did,
so.
did one of them dry out as well?
Yeah, I
Was
think
one
that's what.
one of them dry prior?
Yeah, I think it was already dry before this happened.
Yeah,
One of the things I have seen that when they're dropping this fire stopper from the sky, it's this pink powder, which is like basically
yeah.
just snuffing the oxygen, and they do it so it marks the land so it knows where it's been where they've done.
Yeah,
I mean, it
pretty
turns like
cool.
a slightly different, yeah, it turns like a slightly different color. But who knows what effect that's going to have on the environment afterwards.
Yeah, I don't know.
You've just covered the whole city, you know.
Um, I did also see some videos of strange people putting
Yeah,
water in handbags and trying to
yeah.
run a fire. And there was one that I see someone had a traffic cone and
With a hole in the
with a hole
bottom.
in the top. Come on. I mean,
Needs must, but
I
we've
know
got.
needs must, mate.
But let's use something that's sealed.
Yeah. Yeah, and preferably not a handbag either. Just
Yeah, apparently I looked into that because I sent you that video, didn't I?
yeah.
And reading the reports, apparently that's standard procedure for small fires. It's like, yeah, but this isn't a small fire.
Shit.
Yeah,
What standard procedures where? What, just in LA or
yeah.
worldwide? Is it standard? Because I've never heard of.
I've never
I've
seen a
been,
fireman with a
I've been,
handbag.
I've done fire marshal training, and nowhere
No
in
one
that
ever said fill up a handbag.
they didn't. No, I have not ever seen anyone go right. Well, I suppose men could do it now with their man bags, can't they?
Yeah, yeah.
But
Not
yeah.
those little ones the roadmen have got. You ain't getting much in that.
But yeah, man. Yeah, I've never seen anyone standard procedure. Yeah, I have to have a look into that as well. That's quite of a lot.
Yeah,
No one got a fucking bucket.
yeah,
It's hard. Well, take off your hat.
yeah. Anything will do. Use your shoe.
That's it. No. Yeah, man, very strange. Uh,
It is.
and yeah, as I think we've touched on the Santa Ana winds as well. Um, these hot, dry gusts blow from the interior of the region towards the coast and offshore. Um, they dry out vegetation and they make everything around it very flammable,
Mm.
which didn't help.
No, that is not going to help.
But yeah, not as long. The fires are still going on, and just hope they stop soon or get
Yeah,
put out soon, and no one's
and no more
livelihood.
people have to die.
Yeah, no more people have to die, or no livelihoods need to be extinguished eh, anymore because yeah, 100,000 people to be displaced is quite a few people.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
insane.
from a fire. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I've never really been in the situation of a massive raging fire, if I'm being honest. So
No,
I'm not 100% on it, but I don't know. It just seems like it's gone on for quite a while.
yeah.
Yeah,
If you think that after this happened like year after year, there's got to be some sort of solution to stop it.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, that was cool. But as a topic of the LA fires, we can come back to it, and if there's any updates or any other cool theories, or if some theories get proven, you never know. You
Yeah,
can come and say, well, but yeah, if anyone's listening, they got anything to chime into it, or any other funny theories, or yeah, just anything on it. Just,
yeah.
yeah,
Anyone that's living in LA.
anyone that's living in LA. Yep, if you're displaced and happen to be doing nothing all day and you listen to this
Yeah.
podcast, get in touch and tell us where you are and how it is. Somebody listening to two guys speak. Um,
Yeah,
uh,
not knowing anything about
yeah, not knowing anything about it, but just
it.
putting our penny worth in. But yeah, cool. Until next time.
Sweet. See you soon.